Hi, I'm Reverend Karen Davis of First Christian Church. When your car doesn't work, you look to see why it is not working. Many times it may be that your battery needs a charge. It may be that you need some fuel in your gas tank. The same can happen to us spiritually, that we find ourselves losing faith, we find ourselves without hope, and we wonder, what is it that is missing? And it's usually because we need to refuel our spiritual tanks. We need to reconnect with God so that our batteries can get charged. Today, Pentecost Sunday, is a reminder of that very thing. On the first Pentecost, as the followers of Jesus had gathered in Jerusalem to celebrate the Harvest Festival, there they found themselves encountering God's power as they were filled with the Holy Spirit. There they described it as a mighty wind, as flames, because it was such a powerful experience as they allowed themselves to be moved and touched by God's Holy Spirit as it filled them, as they each understood in their own languages to carry God's message forth into the world. For our car, we have idiot lights and instrument panel that warns us, hey, maybe you need to refuel. Maybe your battery is getting low. Maybe you need to change your oil. If we stop and look and listen to ourselves, we can find out those same things, the same need that we have to get spiritually recharged. When we begin to lose our faith and hope, that's a warning sign. When we begin to focus more on ourselves and less on others, that is another warning sign that we need to check our spiritual wellness. When we're more concerned with material objects than making a difference, when we're spending too much time looking in the rearview mirror rather than looking ahead, those are all signs that tell us that we need to reconnect with God. So my hope and prayer for you this Pentecost Sunday is to take that opportunity to reconnect, to recharge your spiritual battery, to allow and invite God's Holy Spirit to fill you, to infuse you, because it's so much easier when we rely upon the power and presence of God to move us forward rather than being like Fred Flintstone in our car and pedaling our feet. And if you don't know who Fred Flintstone is, I invite you to look it up on YouTube. But we can rely upon God to move us forward and to fill us with all that we need to equip us for God's work. Christianity is to be a journey, not a parking lot. So just as with watches, cars, Christians are the same, that we can be chromed up and shiny, but if a watch doesn't work and a car doesn't go and a Christian isn't sharing God's love and grace and making a difference in the world, then we need to get to work. So I invite you this Pentecost Sunday to allow God to fill you once again with God's grace and God's goodness and God's Holy Spirit to equip you and empower you to go forth into the world, setting the world on fire with God's love and making a difference. Go forth boldly and proudly to serve God.